Hi, I'm Renee Seltzer, owner of Ellison Ellery Consulting. So what do? Figuratively, we kind of do this thing, but a lot less tacky. So what we do is really help owners, business owners, and sales executives kind of feel like her, right? We want to grow your leads and revenue. I hope you're a little bit intrigued to learn more about us, right? So we're a growth agency. What does that even mean? Is that we really honed in on generating more leads for your business and then converting those leads into sales. And we do that through strategy, paid search, social, content, video, lead nurturing, and I'll kind of walk through those services. But you're gonna wanna kind of better understand who we are. So we do the boring stuff in the background, but part of that boring stuff is really focusing on that funnel, right? So we want to drive more awareness to your business, more consideration, which is converting those people from awareness to identify, I've got a problem, right? I got a problem. And your business, we're going to help them understand how your business, product, or service is going to help them fix their problem, right? No one buys technology for the sake of buying technology. They're buying it to solve some problem. So our job is to come in to really understand what problems your buyers have and how specifically your product or service solves those problems. We lend a lot of clarity to a really busy space. And then another thing that we do is we focus on removing hurdles in your sales process and in your buyer's journey. And to really understand what a buyer's journey is, there's a lot of different parts of a buyer's journey, right? We will go ahead and help optimize them. A lot of times we think there's a linear experience to our buyer's journey, right? We go from like anonymous, they have no idea who we are. Oh, now they know who we are and they're a prospect and then become a customer and they become a promoter. But really, the process is a lot. I love this slide from HubSpot. It's a lot more disjointed, right? Sometimes they get an ebook, sometimes they get a newsletter, sometimes they see a social ad, sometimes a friend tells them about your product or service, and it's very disjointed. They don't connect. Your attribution is all over the place. And that's a lot of how people fall through the cracks, right? So what we do is we really work on getting you more leads so your sales managers can feel less like this. And how we do that is we make your website a 24-hour sales machine, right? So you can start growing and thriving. And a lot of businesses come to us because they need more leads and more revenue. And they're not exactly sure how they're going to get there. One other way that we do that is not only do we work on driving you more leads and more leads, but we focus on converting those leads into revenue. You know, your CEO, he doesn't care how the sausage is made. He doesn't care that you drove a lot of leads or you did a lot of MQLs. Ultimately, what he's looking for is, did that make me more money? You know, is there an ROI on that, right? He doesn't care about more leads. So we want to boost your sales team's ROI, and we're going to walk through exactly how we do that with our process. I hope you're intrigued that you want to learn more, right? So how do we do that, right? A lot of it comes from a form of empathy. We go through your process. We narrow down what's working on, what you're currently doing, what needs improvement, and we always come at it from the empathy of the buyer. So we are a through-line agency. What does that even mean, right? We're identifying who your buyers are. We're looking for your buyers, right? A lot of times they're hidden and they don't want to be marketed to, they don't want to be sold to. So how do you really find them, right? And when I said through line a second ago, what I meant with that is we don't just stop at the process of driving the leads. We really work through your team for alignment, and I'll kind of get to that in a second. So we do it through a lot of ways. Like, how do we help customers? We work through strategy and workflows. We are the executing arm to make this all happen, right? We use social media, we do paid social media, but that's not all that we do. We also do SEO, which is search engine optimization. And that's where we align what people are looking for and make sure that your website is set up that when people are looking for that they can land on your website. You know, we not only do web development, so we do build websites also. We want to make that website of yours a 24/7 sales agent for you. And that doesn't mean just when we land on your website that they're going to buy. No, we make sure that the forms are really accessible. We motivate people to want to fill out, information request form. And then once they become a lead, we help you with the lead nurturing. What does that look like? Email is a part of it. Text messaging is another part of it. Here's a little stat. Emails tailored to lead nurturing get 4 to 10 times more responses than typical email blasts. So instead of kind of doing that like spaghetti marketing that I'll talk about in a minute, if you have a really distinct lead nurturing process like a cadence, which is all that we could help you with, that channel is going to perform better. We also work with automation. So that automation is not only through email, but it's also possibly text messaging, and it's a communication cadence that we follow, and it touches a variety of channels, which has really shown to dramatically improve your sales win ratios. We also work on setting up a CRM if you don't have one, or working with your team on how to better use your CRM, right? So we can do all these things with automation. Your CRM probably has the capabilities to do that, and most people are just using a fraction of the power of their CRM. So we can work through all that with you. Ultimately, why are we doing all this, right? Back to that conversion. If we can't drive those leads, those MQLs into SQLs, then this was all for nothing. The idea is to really improve your conversion rates so you can grow. One thing, how we kind of get started with our relationship is we really understand your goals and we make sure that we have alignment. One thing I always make sure that everybody understands, we are now in an experience economy. So what does that even mean? That means people have higher expectations for the process, right? It doesn't mean that you have to have human touch through the entire process, but you really do need to think about user experience, optimizing your buyer's journey. Who owns your buyer's journey? Is somebody really staying on top of it to make sure that your prospective customers are having a really good buyer's experience? If not, if your buyer's experience is really cluttered and looks a lot like this and it's unclear to you, it's definitely unclear to them. And there's also, if you don't have quite alignment, there's a lot of finger pointing going on, right? Sales are like, hey, if you set me better leads, I close better. Marketing is like, hey, I'm sending you great leads. It's your fault you can't close. So we really work through on alignment and the right metrics and how do we unify everything with a level of sales enablement to make sure that marketing is supporting sales all through the process, and then we have alignment of what a sale or good lead looks like. I want to just kind of take a step back and talk about, in relay races, the race is not won by who runs the fastest, but it's actually how well the baton is passed. So I just mentioned alignment. Alignment is so insanely important in an organization. Make sure that we're all running towards the same goals and we're aligned in the same interests too. You know, as I said, there's a lot of confusion in the buyer's journey, so we're here to clean that up for you, and then also just make it a better experience. We help orchestrate the whole process for you, so that way it works smoothly. It doesn't have to get all done right away, but it's really about understanding how everything integrates. What's the marketing technology that you need? What do you communicate at each step of the process to get more people to go from, I don't know who you are, to I definitely need your product and I need it right now, so we can shorten those sales cycles too. How do businesses work with us? So, you know, there's a lot of great theory that I just shared with you, but really in the whole end of it, how do businesses work with us? Some businesses use us as an entire outsourced marketing department. So that means they could, you know, we pull all the levers, we really focus on what's the strategy and how do we execute it. Ultimately, so that means you could focus on what you do best, right? So if you make widgets, focus your whole effort on making widgets. You don't have to focus on your marketing department. If you have services, we are the outsourced department. We are an extension of your current team. Other businesses use us as a fractional CMO. That's primarily me, not my agency services. But you know, most businesses right now do some form of spaghetti marketing. That's where they're throwing up a bunch of stuff on the wall, they're doing random social media posts, they're writing blogs, nothing's really working, there's no predictable leads or revenue. So I always kind of like to say a goal without a plan is just a wish. So these are all things. So I come in, I help create your marketing strategy, your marketing plan, set up metrics. How are we going to track? What are micro conversions? How does that all look? So that way we really aren't in the blind anymore of what's working and what's not. So one quick analogy of how a fractional CMO works, I'm guiding the ship, I'm not in the boat rowing the ship. So we go ahead and adjust alignment. We make sure that, you know, as we try new marketing initiatives, some work, some don't. We adjust and pivot as needed. This way, if you have a marketing team in-house, I help direct them and just really provide that strategic vision for where the organization needs to go and double check their work as we're progressing through. Other businesses use us as retainer work. So we do SEO for them or paid media, sales enablement, content strategy, video production, and then a combination of all those services together. So we work and really help you all the things that we talked about today, but more on a monthly basis. And if we're not a full marketing department for your team. Our goal is really to focus on your success, to create plans and really work with your current teams to be an extra resource to get you moving faster in the direction you want to go. I know a lot of times as business owners, we feel like this, right? We're on a tightrope There's a lot at stakes, and we were afraid that we're gonna, we've already hired agencies and they didn't produce the results that they said they were gonna do. So I have definitely felt this, and as a business owner myself, there's days that I feel like this too, so I understand. We are that lifeline for businesses, and I totally get it. I have worked with agencies in the past that have made a lot of promises and didn't execute. We do hope that every client of ours, leaves our meetings feeling like this. That's really our goal, right? Life is really hard. We want to take some of that burden off and really help you be successful. All right, so I've held your attention for so long, and I appreciate if you've made it to the end. Please visit AllisonEllery.com. Request some information. We'd love to hear back from you. We could schedule a consultation and learn more about your business and see how we could help and solve some of those pain points. All right, have a good one and talk to you soon. Bye.